Alright, now we're going to get into the next project. This can be the Adventure Sample project through Unity. So inside of here, we just want to go to our Asset Store tab. Again, if you don't have it on your bar, then you can go to Window, down to Asset Store. Inside the Asset Store, when it opens, you should notice that you're automatically logged in. Remember, this is internet required right here. Inside of here, I'm just going to go and type in Adventure Game. And the adventure game that we're going to use is the one that's through Unity Technologies called Adventure Sample Game. We'll go ahead and click on this one. And again, you want to add it to and then download. So when you click on the button, you'll add it to your project so that you can have access to it. And then you'll have to click on the download. And once it gets completed downloading, the button will change to import. You can click on the import button. It may ask you a couple of questions about overwriting things. Go ahead and say import. And usually and you want to go ahead and install here. What I usually tell people is that when you're importing projects from third parties like Unity or anyone else, open those in a separate project. Never open those in your own project you've currently been working on. Open them externally in another Unity project. Make sure you look at it. Everything's either working or not working. Things that you don't want to have in it, you'll make a note of so that you don't just import it into your project and it messes up your input system or it overwrites files or anything like that. So again, with this one, we have our import Unity package. We have all of our files right here. You can click on the all or none if you want to say you want none, and I only want this file. So it's going to just simply do the folder related to it, and then the one file. If I want to go all, it'll select all the files that are inside of here. And then I can just say import. And when I import this package, it's going to go ahead and build the package. Going to unzip it and then drop it into my project, into the assets right here, and create a folder. Now that it has imported in, this is one of the projects that is one that you want to be aware of. Unity doesn't stick to a pattern for their projects. The majority of the community sticks to a very solid project setup. But with theirs, they'll sometimes drop in all of the files into the root folder instead of making an official project folder and dropping all their files into it. So what we want to do with this one, we would go in here and right click on assets, or you could click on the plus button right here and just say folder. And we'll just call this one Adventure Sample Game. And then we want to select all of these right there. And we're just going to drop those into the Adventure Sample Game. Granted, there is a scenes, the sample scenes, and we could drop that outside of it. Actually, I think I removed it already. So with this one inside of here, we want to go down to the console and click clear. And then we're going to check. So if you notice, you see there is a label couldn't be found, you're missing certain things and all of this. So we'll walk through the issues with these to make sure that we have all the packages set up to make sure that this project's going to work with it. So to start with, let's go ahead and go up to our help on the menu button. And we're going to go down to one that says reset packages to defaults. So go ahead and click on that button. And it's going to say the reset is going to discard other parts. So it's going to rebuild, it's going to auto-generate some things for us. If you notice in the bottom right hand corner, you'll see the little circle going around. Once it gets finished, what you should notice is all of the errors that we did have go away. And then we want to just double check. We'll go into the one that says security room and scenes. And just to be sure, make sure that we see it and that it's working. And then we can double check with the play button. So we have a couple of null references. Main reason is there's a persistent scene that has to happen. The reason for this is that we're playing a scene out of order. If we start with the first one and we go to mark it and we push play, let's double check that this one works or not. So again, we have the they couldn't find the persistent scene. And then we'll check on the persistent scene right here and push play on this one. There we go. So then we have one more. We have the security room couldn't be loaded. So this lets us know our next step is going to be to find what do we need to do for each of these so that they all work together. To fix the other issues that we currently have, the way this project works is a little bit different. So don't be too worried about all the null refs that you see in it or the bugs. We want to go up to our file. We want to go down to where it says build settings. And we're going to take all of the current scenes and drag and drop them into the build settings. In order to do that, you can just left click on the top one, hold shift, left click on the bottom and select them all. This is inside of the scenes folder, or you can hold control and left click to select each one at a time. Once you have those, left click and drag and drop them into the scenes in build. When these are in here, go ahead and place the persistent. I'm going to left click and drag the persistent to the top. We can go ahead and close this now. We're going to go to our persistent scene and double click on it. The persistent scene is going to be our canvas, our UI, our events, our camera, our music. This is going to be where all the core elements are set up. This is intended to be the launch point for everything else. From here, I can push play. And notice from persistent loads inside the hierarchy the security room. By doing that, it makes sure that everything else is connected. So now my character can actually walk around. So when you left click inside the scene, the character will just simply path and walk to the available spot.